maiba na ulit ako ng topic. Si Russian President Vladimir Putin, hinahabol na yung ICC judges. Anong tingin mo dyan, Prof, kasama si Karim Khan ng International Criminal Court, yung prosecutor na ngayon po ay naimbestigahan dahil po sa mga issue ng sexual abuse?
Hindi lang ang Russia actually ang may ruling na aarestuhin nila ang ilan or one of those ICC judges, at even I think the United States mayroon silang imposed na sanctions sa ilang ICC judges. Ang implication kasi ganito, ibig sabihin ang ICC is losing ground. Ibig sabihin the ICC is also losing credibility. Kasi take note, dalawang yan Russia is a superpower in terms of military, not necessarily in economics, pero you look at two major powers na hinahabol ang ICC judges. So makikita natin na actually ang ICC is losing its ground, and at the same time nawawalan na rin siya ng credibility. Kasi kung titignan mo, may isang bagong bansa ang gustong umalis, at I think nag-file na sila ng kanilang petisyon na aalis na sila sa ICC, and that's Venezuela. So, ganito may credibility crisis kasi talaga ang ICC, not only now but even before. Pero kasi one thing that you have to remember though, si Putin kasi ay warrant of arrest na inisyu ang ICC, but actually Russia is against it. So syempre, they will do a move against the ICC. On the other hand, ang reason naman ay may kinalaman naman sa investigation ng ICC at sa United States to some extent, and even Israel officials. So may gano'n na laro din ang United States at ng Russia. Pero overall talaga, ang ICC from hindi lang ngayon, even before, may credibility crisis na talaga siya. Kasi ang problema ng ICC, selective justice ang dating niya. Na kapag halimbawa, bansa na medyo mahina, third world, silang achievement, kaya nilang, alam mo yun, pilipitin, katulad ng case ni Tatay Digong, ni former President Rodrigo Duterte. Pero yan niya, nagta-travel from one ICC member state, Duterte. Pero yan niya, nagta-travel from one ICC member state to another, hindi nila magawang arestuhin. So, in that alone, former President Duterte ginagawang trophy ng ICC, para lang may masabi siya na look, mayroon kaming achievement. Look, mayroon kaming tao dito na tinatrial na very popular, not only in the Philippines but even across the world. So kasi may mga sanctions na nga. So, ganun yon. Kaya, from before and until now, talagang may credibility crisis siya. Kasi maraming bansa, actually, ang ngayon, nag-iisip na umalis na sa ICC. The more na mawawalan ng member states ang ICC, the more na mawawalan na yan ng credibility, and at the same time, in a matter of time, baka nga ma-dissolve pa yan if wala na talaga, kung isa-isang mag-aalisan ang member states niya. Pero one thing that you have to remember, na hindi nila naiintindihan, na sila din actually, in history, marami silang nagawang human rights violation, pero back up yung ICC na yan, very happy with ICC. So, ganun yung ganun yung dynamics dyan. So ako, pero at the end of the day, we should not be, ang ano ko lang dyan, caveat ko lang, parang reminder lang sa ating mga kababayan, at caveat din, na states may sanction on the part of Russia. We need to remember na at the end of the day, andyan pa rin yung mga yan, yung mga judges, and yung case ni Tatay Digong is still there. It's standing. So until, siguro pag wala na talagang pondo yung ICC, saka lang siguro yan guguho, at hopefully, makalabas si former President Duterte. Pero we still have to, fight for Tatay Digong, and we still have to continue the advocacy na sana mapalabas na siya at gawan ng paraan.
Nagsilbi sa US. He spent 20 years of his diplomatic career sa US at naging Deputy Chief of Mission ng China sa Washington. So, malalim ito, ma'am, sa US tactics at US operations. At siya ang pinadala dito sa Pilipinas.
Maganda ang tanong mo, MJ, talaga. Maganda ang tanong. Bakit nga ba siya ang pinadala? When in fact, actually, to be very frank, hindi siya masyadong acquainted sa politics ng Pilipinas, I think, but he will learn because he is the new ambassador to China. And on the other hand, ang expertise talaga niyan is US, United States, in you know, ang Philippine the dynamics ng United States, both politics-wise and even international relation-wise, and of course US-China relation. Kasi matagal nga yan sa United States. So ngayon, pero magaling yan. Very seasoned ambassador, very seasoned na diplomat. I think mabait. Ang alam ko mabait siya, very kind but very firm. And medyo mas malalim ang experience niyan and when you talk about diplomatic experience. So ngayon, ang magandang tanong mo, MJ, bakit nga ba ang isang US-China expert at US expert ang pinadala sa Pilipinas at hindi ang isang possible ambassador na mas may orientation sa Pilipinas at mas oriented sa Asia Pacific? Kasi ang United States is North America. It's not part of Asia Pacific actually. So bakit nga ba ganon? Kasi po, ang tingin siguro, ang katotohanan kasi dyan, even it's not just China looking at the Philippines, but even the rest of Asia Pacific and even the rest of the world is looking at the Philippines na we are very much under the influence of the United States. So parang mangyayari dyan, so parang siguro itong China, ang ginawa nila, okay, let's send someone who understands the United States so that he can actually better, probably be more effective in dealing with the current regime in the Philippines under Marcos Jr., which is very much under the influence. And to a greater extent, ang tingin kasi sa atin is parang semi-colonial ng Philippines in modern times. So kaya, siguro sa kanila, strategic-wise, it's good to send someone who understands the United States. It's more like, let's talk directly with the patron of BBM rather than to BBM.
Opo.
You know what? You know what I mean? Parang ganun yung ano niyan ganun yung dating niyan Kasi ako nagtataka talaga. Ako sabi ko noong una, bakit siya ang pinadala Sabi ko, marami namang diplomat siguro sila na very oriented and very and also are experts when you talk about Asia Pacific, and some of them maybe probably are very familiar with the Philippines. Pero bakit ito? So yun yung tapos iniisip ko, ito siguro yun. Yun na-explain ko kanina na,
Opo.
you know, Pilipinas kasi, ang perspective talaga from outside, hindi lang ng China, but really from even other countries, is the Marcos Jr. administration is heavily under the influence of the United States. And there are a lot of manifestations to it. So if you want to deal with the Philippines at this time under BBM, you need to have someone who is good and very an expert about the United States, or US expert, especially politics and their foreign policy. So
Opo.
ganun ang tingin ko.
Prof, maraming salamat sa inyong oras at panahon. Sa uulitin, mag-ingat sila sa iyo.
Maraming salamat. Merry Christmas. And hello to Attorney Harry Roque. Yung susunod
Hello.
Maraming salamat.
Hello.
Si Professor Ana Malindog.